Hi, this is Cindy from Part-Time Permies, and I just wanted to give you an update on the tractor coupe that I built, the good parts of it and the bad parts. There are a couple little things I would change. One main thing. So the good is that the ramp works well, the door works well, all of that part, all my moving parts work pretty well. The roof system is awesome. I do like these 4 panels on this big roof because I could take each panel off as needed and put it on as needed by myself. I would switch the nesting box end and the front end to the opposite sides if I were to redo this. Only reason is there ends up being so much weight back here at the nesting box end that we're in danger of it tilting back that way. And the roof, I need a slant that way for the roof to have the runoff, have the water run off the roof properly. So what I've ended up doing is taking this little bench and shoving it under the back end to keep it from tilting all the way down. If I had switched that, then there would be less weight back here, and when the girls go in to lay eggs, it would have been up here. That probably would have been better, but not a big deal. We have a solution here. I did run into some challenges moving this the first time, and I didn't get the full thing on video, but I'll show you a little clip of how we ended up doing it. Okay, so it's a beautiful morning, but I think I've admitted defeat. I was trying to move the chicken tractor to new ground and hooked up the lawn tractor to it, and got everything set, got the fencing pulled down and everything. The ground is too soft. Keep spinning the tires. At this point, I'm kind of down in a hole a little bit, and at this point I can't even reverse far enough to unlatch the hitch from the trailer. So I think the girls are going to be free ranging for a bit. Unfortunately, Mike's on a crazy weekend because today's Mother's Day, and he also has a big event tomorrow that he has to do. So I'm going to see if we can, once he gets up, I'm going to see if we can do anything before he has to go to work. Otherwise, the girls may be free ranging for a couple days. He's not off, I don't think, until Tuesday. So I may end up putting the fence back up, but today I just let them out to do whatever they want. Okay, so we're going to have to get this thing out with the pilot. In the garden where they had worked the soil. They had worked the soil so much that the ground was soft. Plus, this is really sandy anyway. The ground was soft. My tires are losing air, and they were flat. So when I went to try to move it, I hooked up my lawn tractor to the front and ended up digging a hole with the tires as they spun because I was not going anywhere. So I actually got it kind of stuck and had to get my husband out on a very busy day to unhook the lawn tractor and to hook up our pilot and get it out of the garden with the pilot. And then I pulled it the rest of the way to its final location with the lawn tractor. The one tire was completely flat, so it was a bumpy ride there. I had 3 girls in there. They were not happy about that. But usually I want to move this first thing in the morning when all the girls are still in here, so I don't have to let them out free ranging the entire yard and have to show them where their home is again. Second time I moved it was a little bit better, but tires were still flat and I still hadn't put an air in them, so it was still a challenge to get this thing moving with all the birds in it without tilting it again, because if the girls all move away from the tractor, they're all moving to this end, this thing wants to tilt. The latch on the end of this is not great. I can eventually replace that. It doesn't actually latch onto the hitch. It just kind of sits on the hitch. So if there's any weight back here, it can tip. So that was interesting again. But this next time, we did put some air in the tires. It seems to be a slow leak, because this one still has some air in it. Same with the other one. It might be a little bit low. So I'll probably put air in the tires before I move it again. That should make it easier on the move, and just make it less work on the lawn tractor. So the Nestbox access point works great, and I'll show you that. Basically, you have these little latches, unclip, drop the door. I have my water sitting out here, so it ends up being a little shelf. So that ends up working great. Access to the nest boxes, which I can pull in and out. I need some more bedding in there. The worst mistake of this whole thing, if you look in there, the whole point of this was to have the poop drop down to the ground. And obviously, not happening, because I didn't pay enough attention. I wasn't really following Justin Rhodes' chickshaw idea to the T, obviously. This is much bigger and on a trailer. But that should be 1-inch hardware cloth, not 1/2 inch. I used what I had. That was a mistake. So what I did do, in one little section down there, I tried cutting out bits on one length of 1 inch, and actually that is the clearest place in the coops. I think things are falling through there. So I'm just going to have to, I'm not going to cut 1-inch holes on all of this, but I'll probably do right in the rows in between the roosts. I'll probably do some 1-inch holes so things drop through a little bit better. What I'm going to do to clean this up is I'm going to take my roof panels off and get my dog pooper scooper and get in there and scoop some of that out by hand, unfortunately. That's all it takes to move the roof pieces over. It's a really easy access from the top, and it keeps the rain out, so that works really well. I think that's actually probably the best design in the whole thing. So that's not perfect, but it's still working, and frankly it's almost as if I designed these roost bars to fit my pooper scooper in between. It fits in between almost all of them. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some wire snips and just snip off another section, and each time I clean this out I'll snip off another section, just so more of the poop starts dropping through. Not horrible, but you got to keep up with the cleaning, and that's the whole, kind of defeats the purpose of the design. So, mistake to learn from. Definitely a prototype, but it does do most of its job. It's mobile, it's easy access, it's simple design for the roof. It made it easy there with the panels. Just a note to others trying to do something like this: whatever design you make and use, if you want to set it up for the poop to drop through, use 1-inch hardware cloth. So that's probably the biggest mistake of this whole thing, but otherwise it's doing what I want it to do. So I'm still using it. I'm not going to take it apart just to redo the hardware cloth. I'm just going to slowly cut out 1-inch holes. So, but otherwise, I hope you learn from my mistakes and enjoy the show. We'll be moving this again probably in another week, a little bit further down, and then we'll move it. The next time we move it, we'll be moving it near where I have my nursery coop set up, so the chicks and the goslings, hopefully we get some goslings, can start getting used to the flock. So I hope you enjoyed the show. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. I'll see you next time.